Once upon a time, in the outskirts of a serene town surrounded by lush forests and flowing rivers, there was an ancient Zen monastery. This monastery was home to a wise Zen master known for his profound understanding of life's mysteries. Alongside him lived several students who traveled from far and wide to seek his guidance and learn the secrets of peace and purpose in life. But this is not just the story of a monastery. It is the story of a powerful lesson that can change your life. So, are you ready to discover the secret that will teach you the art of letting go? One day, a young man named Arav arrived at the monastery. He looked deeply troubled, his eyes reflecting anxiety and despair. Bowing before the Zen master, he said, "Master, I have heard of your great wisdom and teachings. I am weary of my struggles and long for peace. Please teach me how to let go of my sorrows." The master smiled and replied, "Arav, to find peace, you must first understand what you are holding on to. Stay here for a few days, observe, and the answers will reveal themselves to you." The next day, the master gathered all his students and placed a large glass jar before them. He filled it with big stones and asked, "Is this jar full now?" The students answered, "Yes, master." The master smiled and then added smaller pebbles to the jar, shaking it lightly so the pebbles filled the gaps between the stones. He asked again, "Is the jar full now?" This time, the students hesitated but eventually answered, "Yes." The master then picked up a handful of sand and poured it into the jar. The sand filled even the tiniest spaces. Once more, he asked, "Is the jar completely full now?" The students fell silent. Arav hesitantly asked, "Master, does this teach us that there's always room to add more to our lives?" The master shook his head and replied, "No, this jar represents your mind. The big stones are the most important things in life, your purpose, your values, and your health. The pebbles are the smaller, necessary things, like work and hobbies. And the sand, it's the unnecessary worries and trivial matters you cling to. If you fill your jar with sand first, there will be no room left for the big stones and pebbles." The master looked at them seriously and said, "Letting go means understanding what truly matters and releasing the rest." The following day, the master handed each student a bag filled with heavy stones and instructed them to carry it all day and return in the evening. By dusk, the students were exhausted. The master asked, "How do you feel now?" One of the students replied, "Master, the bag was extremely heavy. It slowed us down and caused great pain." The master nodded and said, "This bag represents the burdens of your mind, the worries, guilt, and regrets you carry around. They weigh you down and slowly destroy your peace. If you want freedom, you must put the bag down." Arav asked, "But master, what if these stones represent my memories or lessons?" The master smiled and said, "Memories are meant to guide you, not bind you. Keep the lesson but let go of the weight." The next day, the master invited Arav for tea. During the conversation, one of the students accidentally dropped and broke a teacup. Panicked, the student began apologizing profusely. The master calmly said, "Let it go." The student paused, confused, and the master explained, "Everything in life is temporary. Whether it's a cup, a relationship, or even pain, holding on to what is broken or lost only amplifies your suffering. Accept life's impermanence and move forward. That is the essence of letting go." Arav began applying the master's teachings in his life. He released the bitterness of his past, the fear of the future, and the need to control everything. Slowly, he discovered a new sense of peace within himself. On the day he left the monastery, Arav bowed deeply and said, "Master, you have taught me life's greatest lesson. Letting go is not about losing, it is about gaining freedom." The master smiled and replied, "Remember, my son, letting go is a continuous process. The lighter you travel, the farther you will go." And so, Arav left not with a heavy heart, but with a soul as light as a feather, ready to embrace life's uncertainties. And you, what are you holding on to that needs to be released? Reflect, let go, and rediscover your freedom.